Okay, hello everybody. Welcome on in here to our user group webinar. My name is Jim. I'm coming to you live on an overcast and cool day here in Columbus, Ohio. Leaves are just starting to turn a little bit, so good times for autumn hitting here. Welcome on in. We're going to be spending the next 20 minutes or so talking about some of the sort of additional options that you have available to you for the Enter Donations window. Some of the different settings that you can put in place there to make your data entry there on the Enter Donations window a little bit easier for you. So that is the topic for our discussion here today. Before we get started on that, a quick word about your GoToWebinar control panel that everybody should have on your screen right now. It's got a little red or orange button, usually in the upper left-hand corner with an arrow on it that allows you to either minimize or maximize that control panel. Minimizing it is going to give you a little bit more room on your screen to see what we're talking about here in our class here today. Maximizing that is going to give you access to the different functions there in that control panel. Specifically, I'm talking about the questions portion there. So as I'm going through my presentation here today, I may or may not be able to hit on any questions that you have as we go, but I will leave the room open at the end a little bit for any questions that you might have. Please keep the topics, the questions to the topic at hand, which is just a couple of things that we're going to be looking at here on the Enter Donations window. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start taking a look at that. I'm going to go ahead and launch our Donations module by clicking on that button from our opening screen here. Takes us here into our Donations module. First thing we're going to talk about is the giving distribution that occurs while you're on that Enter Donations window. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Enter Donations screen. I'm going to set a date for Sunday's date here. I could select a batch code if I had multiple services on the same day, or I had a different way I needed to specify this batch and separate it from other batches with the same date. When you first come into this window, the default giving distribution you will see listed right underneath the amount box, and the default is this manual distribution, as you see listed right there. What manual distribution means is that anytime you select a particular giver here, and you go over to the amount window, right after you select the giver, manual distribution means you are setting how you want the giving to go manually. So in this case, Lucy gave us a $50 check that she wanted put in for the building fund. Okay, and you can do this for, and that's for every individual gift that you receive. Okay, that is the default distribution, which is manual. There are two other options that you can run here, and you can change them either by going to this button right here, this little pie chart looking button, or you can also get to this by going to the Donations tab here along the top and select Giving Distribution right here. They both take you to the same window. So here is what you can do in this screen. At the top where it says Selected Distribution, manual is going to be the default. If you click on your down arrow, for folks who are pledging churches here, you can select distribute automatically according to pledge. So what, and again, you're going to see it listed here underneath amount when you have a different distribution selected. So what it's going to do is anytime you select somebody that has a particular pledge that they have set. Oop, I thought Jack did. Sorry about that. Let's see. Yep. Phooey. Hold on. Bear with me for 1 second. I need to see who my pledgers are before I can show you how this works. Bear with me for 1 second. Sorry about this. Who is in my general fund? All right, I'll put the Bell family in here, number 64. All right, so when you have somebody who is pledging to your church and you select their name on this list, what it should be doing is distributing according to the way they have that pledge set up. Why did that not do it? Okay, let's try that, 36. Sorry about this, folks. Oh, you have to set the amount first. My mistake. Sorry about that. Once you set the amount, you select the giver. If they are participating in one or more pledges, you come over to the amount field. You set that amount. When you do that, it automatically, notice how, whereas before we had to select the giving account, in this case, it automatically sets it according to the pledge or pledges that they are participating in. It automatically sets it for them. You fill in the rest of this with its check number or whatever else is appropriate, and you can add that to your breakdown here. So again, once you select somebody who is participating in one of your pledges, you designate them an amount, and it will automatically distribute it in the way that they have pledged in your church. If they have multiple pledges that they are participating in, you'll see it distribute according to sort of percentages based upon what they've pledged more to. It'll automatically break it down for you on your list below there. Okay, so that is distributing according to pledge. Some folks are going to want to use that. The third way that you can distribute, when I click on our button over here, is for a custom distribution. Now, this would be something that you could set up if you're taking a special collection for, and that automatically distributes it based upon how you have this set up here. So we had a previously kind of created custom distribution here that you'll see. We've got our building fund, and 15% of their giving goes there. Their general fund, 80% of their giving goes there. And the missions fund, and 5% of their giving goes there. As long as all this stuff adds up to 100, as you see listed down here at the bottom, it's going to be a valid distribution, and that's something that you can use. So, you know, you can edit these if you want to by using these buttons over here. I can set it up as a 50-50 building fund and general operating fund, for example. Okay, so again, it adds up to 100. Now all of our giving that we set up here is going to be broken down half building, half general. When I click close, again, you're going to notice in parentheses underneath amount, it's set to custom distribution right here. And anytime you record somebody in here, if I go $100 in here, you'll see it automatically breaks it down in the grid below. Building fund, general fund, $50, $50. So it does it automatically for you. So that's going to be useful for folks if you're going to be recording some kind of special giving on a particular day. Different situations, disaster relief, if there's something like that going on, you can have it automatically set up in that way. Okay, I'm going to set this back to manual. And the second thing that we are going to do, okay, the second thing we want to look at is the order that your giving accounts kind of appear in when you first go to that that selection, and I'll show you what I mean here. You come in here, you set up the amount, the giver, and then when you first enter and come down to the account/pledge field, notice it automatically populates with a particular giving account. In this case, it's our general fund. If I click on the down arrow on my keyboard, it gives me my drop-down list and shows me all of our giving accounts and the order in which we can select them. So I can use my arrow keys to go down my list and find something here and record that on our screen here. If, for example, you had, let's say you noticed on the list we had various seasonal giving listed there, and you were having your Easter collection, and the vast majority of your giving for a particular batch is going to be for a particular giving account, then you have the ability to kind of change the order that those giving accounts appear in. So I'll show you where you can locate that. Two places. When you first get down to the account/pledge field here, you're going to see a little button over to the right of the account pledge with the 3 dots right there. So there you can change the order that your giving accounts appear in. The other place you can do it is up at the top. If you go to the Accounts and Pledges tab, you'll see a button up here that says Order Accounts right here. So this button up here and this button right over here take you to the same place. So let's go ahead and click there, and it shows you all of your giving accounts. There are 2 ways that you can sort of automate the way that these accounts appear in here, and those are the buttons at the bottom of this window. Sort by name, which will be alphabetically by the name of the giving account. If I click here, you're going to see all of this stuff sorted alphabetically by name, G, H, J, K, etc. Or if you go sort by number, it will sort by code, or the code for all of your giving accounts. You can, if you have this box checked here, if you were to add a new giving account, it would automatically slot itself at the top of this list. And then the other thing you can do is if you have a particular giving account that you want to move, you can select that giving account and use these arrow buttons over here to the right. And I can click this and move Easter all the way up to the top of my list and click OK. Let me add that gift. And then the next gift that we add here did not work. Hold on for 1 second. Move it up to the top, please, and click OK. That time it took. Okay. I am having small glitches here today. Sorry, folks. So again, once you have that set, when you first enter on your keyboard to skip down to the account/pledge, it will default to the account that is on the top of your list. And when you click on your down arrow, you're going to see all of those accounts appear in that order. Now, you can always simply type the number and do a search in that way, right? But if you're just clicking on your down arrow on your keyboard, you're going to see it in the order that you have it set when you first do that. Also, one other kind of note I wanted to make here, if with that checkbox where it's showing new accounts are added up at the top, you also have the option of adding new giving accounts right here from the Enter Donations window by clicking on this little green plus button right here. And that's kind of what that checkbox is going to talk about, is referring to here. where if you're on this window, if you were to add a new account right here, that would automatically slot itself up at the top of that list. Okay, so so adding new giving accounts can either be done right here from this green plus button, where it takes you to adding a new giving account right here. You can also do the same thing from the Accounts and Pledges tab up here at the top by clicking on the Add Account button, which is right here. That one right there. Both of them, again, take you to the same window where you give a particular account a new code and a new name. Click plus to add that giving account. Now you're going to see that on your drop-down list. Okay. So the last thing I want to show you on this window is you've got a check from somebody and you type their name here under Giver, and you do not see their name on your drop-down list. One thing you will want to try to do first is before you go any farther, you're going to want to check this inactive checkbox up here at the top to see if that person is in your database but simply listed as inactive for some reason. It's a good way to, it's a good thing you want to start double checking just to make darn sure that they're not hidden from you because they've been marked as inactive. Type in their name, they're not in your database. You can also add new records to church windows right here from the Enter Donations screen by using this little green plus button over here to the right to add a new record. When you click on this, it's going to give you a little drop-down list of what type of giver you want to add. The vast majority of the time, you're going to want to add a new membership individual. If you add, okay, so adding a new membership individual is creating a new record over in your membership module, which then makes that record available for recording attendance or being a part of a group, all of the different functions that you have over in membership. If you select Add Donations Individual Giver right here, that new record that you're creating only appears here in the Donations module and will not be available for any of those other functions over in membership. And if you change your mind later and you want to have this record also be available over in membership, in the current version of Church Windows, there are several hoops to jump through. You can't simply click a button and move that record from Donations over into membership. That is planned for some future release in our program. I do not know when that's going to show up, but for the time being, it is a much safer option to simply add a membership individual, because you can't really change your mind in any easy way in the future to have this person show up over there in membership. So creating a new individual, you can click Add Membership Individual. It takes you to this window here. You can add them to an existing household if they're a member of a family that you already have in your database, or if it's somebody new, you can simply click New Family. Oh, you must choose a category for the new family. We'll put them in the visitors database. You set up their mailing label here. You can click the plus button to give them an address. It can auto-populate zip code, city, and state based upon your settings that you have set up in Church Windows. Once you've got these things entered, it'll record their address information here. You will want to set them with a directory report order if you ever want to report on them in the future, and you can fill in any other information that you know about them here on this screen for over in membership. Once you've got this stuff all set up, if you have other members in the same household you want to set up, you can use the little add another individual button right here. Or if you are all set, you simply click on the OK button at the bottom. It creates that new record over in membership, and then you can now record your giving for that new record here in donations. And that is all of the information I have for you today. Thanks so much for joining me here, everybody. If you are all set to get on with your day, feel free to go ahead and click on the X in the upper right-hand corner of your GoToWebinar control panel. For folks who are out of here, thank you so much for joining me here today. I do plan on leaving the room open for a little bit here if you have any questions you'd like to get in at this time. But so for everybody else, thanks for joining me here today. Okay, question from Gloria, how to add a new account number to an account set up already. An account number to an account set up already. I'm interpreting that question to mean how to change an ID for a giving account that already exists, and that's easy to do from the Manage Accounts window. This is a little off topic for our webinar here, but it's easy. If you come to Accounts and Pledges and go to Manage Accounts, here's all of your giving accounts with all of their IDs, and an account without a number. If it doesn't have a number, then you'll just see blanks here in ID. And this can all be edited at any time. So like here for my Lent account, I can just delete the ID. Notice it does not have one now. If I needed to add a number to an account that already exists, you just type it in there. Hit your tab key on your keyboard, and now it has that account number. So IDs and descriptions can be edited here on Manage Accounts. Just type in whatever you need there. Cool. And again, I'll leave, can you print a list of the, yeah, there's the question is, can you print a list of your giving accounts? The answer is yes. Back on that window, there's a print button. Right. Oh, I thought there was a print button on here. I lied. You have to come over here to Reports and Export, go to Lists and Labels, and there is a, you probably want to go with List Account Balances and removing the year-to-date balance from there. And that'll just be a list of all of your giving accounts. That's probably the best way to go. List Account Balances report here under Lists and Labels. That'll give you that list. Oh, there was a checkbox when we were adding, gotcha. So there was a checkbox when we were adding a new record that says add special character when you're assigning somebody with a directory report order. Basically, all that means is whatever character you type into that field will appear after their name when you print a directory. So if you assign somebody with a directory report order of 1 and put an asterisk in that special character field, then when you print the directory next to their name, they will have an asterisk next to their name. So it's just a little symbol that appears. Pardon me, that appears next to their name when you print that directory. Whatever you want it to be. The purpose of that would be whatever you want it to be. That you could put it next to everybody who's in the visitor file. You could put it an asterisk next to out-of-town members. It's up to you how you want to use that character. If you don't care about it, don't use it. Okay, folks, I think we're all set here. I'm going to go ahead and end the session for today. For everybody still hanging out with me, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all have a good afternoon, and we'll talk to you on down the line. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.